Snuck out like a rat. Those were the furious words of Gareth Wyn-Jones, a prominent Welsh farmer, as he publicly condemned Labour leader Keir Starmer for avoiding hundreds of angry farmers in Llandudno. The farmers had gathered to protest Labour's controversial inheritance tax changes, which they claim will devastate family-run farms and jeopardise the future of British agriculture. But instead of addressing their concerns, Starmer made a swift exit through a back door under police escort, sparking outrage and accusations of cowardice. Outside venue Cymru, where the Welsh Labour conference was taking place, the streets were alive with the sounds of protest. Tractors blared their horns, placards with slogans like "Save Our Farms" and "Blood on Labour Hands" filled the air, and demonstrators chanted in unison, "Enough is enough." This wasn't just a protest, it was a rural rebellion.
But what's your view on it?
Madness, absolute madness. Number one, they said it's going to hit about 20% of the family farms. So there's number crunching already. They're not very good at maths where they are. So it looks like it's going to hit about 70% of family farms. This is absolutely unbelievable. It's going to be devastating. You know, we need to be protecting food security in this country. We need to be looking after family farms. And this is going to be one of the last nails in the agricultural coffin going forward. And let me tell you, what they've done here is they have put taxes on the poor people because food inflation is going to have to go up 20%. We are getting kicked. We're getting kicked every time. Keir Starmer stood in the NFU conference and he put a statement out there he would protect family farms. They bring the new budget out, the first budget they've done, and they have put 20% inheritance tax. That is the death nail. It's absolute death nail. And the poorer people in society aren't going to have been able to afford good food that the nation's farmers have been producing for generations to keep everybody fed. It's scary. Food security should be at the top. And Keir Starmer stood in Llandudno today. We've been there. Hundreds of us have been there. He didn't come out. He snuck out of the back like a rat. He didn't come and face the audience. He didn't come and talk to us. He went out of the back to his London hideout, while hundreds of farmers turned out there to air their frustrations and grievances. We need to feed this nation in a sustainable and affordable way. And this government is not helping one iota.
But this story is far from over. As Labour doubles down on its policies, farmers are escalating their fight, and the backlash is threatening to shake the party's foundations in rural Britain. Stay tuned as we uncover every twist and turn in this explosive political saga. The tension at the Welsh Labour conference wasn't confined to the protest outside. Inside, Keir Starmer delivered a carefully crafted speech, defending his party's tough fiscal policies and positioning Labour as the party of economic stability. Yet, the farmers' protests were impossible to ignore. Their horns and chants pierced through the walls of the conference hall, reminding delegates that not everyone shared their enthusiasm for Labour's vision of the future. Hundreds of farmers, many driving tractors and other agricultural vehicles, descended on the seaside town of Llandudno to send a clear message to Keir Starmer and his party. Their proposed inheritance tax changes are unacceptable. Organised by the grassroots group Digon YW Digon, Welsh for Enough is Enough, the protest represented a cross-section of rural Britain, from small family farmers to larger agricultural enterprises. At the heart of the controversy is Chancellor Rachel Reeves's recent budget, which proposes significant changes to inheritance tax. Under the new rules, only the first £1 million of combined business and agricultural assets would be exempt from inheritance tax. Assets above this threshold would receive 50% relief, resulting in an effective tax rate of 20%. While Treasury figures suggest that 3/4 of farmers would remain unaffected by these changes, protesters are deeply sceptical. They cite Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs (DEFRA) data, which indicates that 66% of farm businesses are valued at more than £1 million. This discrepancy has fueled anger and mistrust, with many farmers accusing Labour of being out of touch with the realities of rural life. The protest reached its peak as Keir Starmer's keynote speech concluded inside venue Cymru. Instead of addressing the crowd of demonstrators waiting outside, Starmer opted to exit the building through a back door, escorted by police. This decision drew boos from the protesters and a scathing response from Gareth Wyn-Jones. Keir Starmer stood in Llandudno today. Hundreds of us were there, Wyn-Jones said in his interview with GB News. He didn't come and face the audience. He didn't come and talk to us. He went out the back. He went back to his London hideout while hundreds of farmers turned out to air their frustrations and grievances. Wyn-Jones, a well-known TV personality and advocate for sustainable farming, didn't stop there. He accused Labour of disregarding the importance of agriculture in Britain's economy and food security. We need to feed this nation in a sustainable and affordable way, and this government does not care one iota. They talk about fiscal responsibility, but at what cost? The survival of our farms, the survival of our communities. The frustration wasn't limited to Wyn-Jones. A woman from a farming family shared her disbelief at Starmer's actions. He sneaked in the back way. He can't face up to people who voted him in. I come from a farming family. I never thought I would see the day our farmers were provoked into having to come and make a point. Another protester, a farmer from Snowdonia who asked to remain anonymous, warned of the long-term consequences of Labour's policies. Labour's got no idea what it's doing. This budget will cripple us. People are already in debt as it is. There will be more empty shelves if things go the way they are. Inside the conference hall, Starmer was unyielding. He avoided directly addressing the inheritance tax changes, but defended Labour's broader economic strategy. Make no mistake, I will defend our decisions in the budget all day long. I will defend facing up to the harsh light of fiscal reality. I will defend protecting the payslips of working people, fixing the foundations of our economy, and investing in the future of Britain and the future of Wales. Starmer went on to praise Wales as a torchbearer for Labour, celebrating the party's sweeping victories in the last general election, which made Wales a Tory-free zone. He announced a record £21 billion investment in Wales for the next year and confirmed a £160 million investment zone in Wrexham and Flintshire. While these announcements drew applause from the conference attendees, they did little to quell the anger outside. The protest in Llandudno was just the beginning. Organisers from Digon YW Digon have vowed to escalate their campaign, with plans for nationwide demonstrations targeting Labour events. Videos from the Llandudno protest are already circulating widely on social media, amplifying the farmers' grievances and drawing support from rural communities across the UK. A video showing a line of tractors blaring their horns as protesters chanted, "Save our farms," has been shared thousands of times. The caption reads, "Labour's war on the countryside won't go unchallenged." Political opponents have also seized the moment. Conservative MPs have accused Starmer of hypocrisy, with Simon Hart tweeting, "Keir Starmer talks about tough decisions, but he can't face tough conversations. Farmers deserve better than being ignored." Even within Labour, there are signs of unease. One Welsh Labour councillor, speaking anonymously, expressed concerns about the leadership's handling of the situation. "We can't afford to alienate rural voters. The party needs to engage with these communities, not dismiss them." What do you think? Should Keir Starmer have faced the protesters directly, or was his decision to leave through the back door a smart move to avoid escalation? Are Labour's tax changes necessary for fiscal stability, or do they unfairly target rural communities? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like this video. We'll keep you updated as this story develops.